Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Is it even focusing on my head? I don't think it is. Today I'm going to be taking a look at all of the men's Parfums de Marly fragrances and tier ranking them out from S tier, perfection, down to D tier, dumb. That's what D stands for. Now we all know Parfums de Marly, right? One of the most hyped niche brands out there, if not the most hyped nowadays. But just because they're hyped doesn't mean all their stuff is good. And my God, they do have some stuff that sucks for the price. So we're gonna have S, A, B, C, and D, 5 different tiers this time. And what better place to start than with one of the newest ones, Valero. Yeah, this little beauty right here, one of the most expensive PDMs that you can get, and that's because it's an extrait. I love it when brands come out with higher priced lines that are actually not any better in terms of quality. That's my favorite thing in the world. It's just the best, brother. I love paying more for less. Hell yeah. I know it's technically a higher concentration, but. So this right here, very, very, very expensive, even more so than your typical PDM pricing. And essentially, this is Parfums de Marly going like, what if we did sort of like a fresh, clean laundry type fragrance, you know? Yeah, like what if we made something that competes directly with YSL Myself, Prada Paradigm, things like that. Genius. Now it doesn't smell bad, it is really wearable, it is versatile, but I think as far as what you get versus what you pay for, it's gotta go in C tier. Not quite D tier because it is really wearable, like I said, but can't go any higher than this. Now, before we go any further, I wanna let you guys know there is a huge PDM sale going on right now. It's linked in the description, so feel free after the video to click that link, go check the sale out. I looked at the pricing, and to me, the real steals here are going to be the tester bottles. So you can get testers of some of the more hyped PDM fragrances for like $140, $150. By that I mean $140, $150. If it were $1.50, that would be sick, and I would have already bought them all. But that's really where the meat of the sale is for me, is those testers. You can scoop them up for cheap. But they do have good prices on a bunch of the other fragrances as well, like your standard presentations, you know, 75 mil, 125 mil. So pretty much any of the major PDM releases, you can find them marked off right now. If you're watching this in the future though, obviously the sale is not going on. It's only like a 48-hour thing. But yeah, if you're looking to scoop up some PDM on the cheap or, you know, relatively cheap, check that sale out. Next up, how about Pegasus? This one has been cloned a lot, so if you want a Middle Eastern fragrance that smells similar to it for very cheap, you can find them. And it also smells kind of similar to Dior's Hypnotic Poison, which is interesting because that's a women's fragrance from many years before this one came out, but yeah. For me personally, it's never been one of the best PDM fragrances, even with all that hype. I've got to put it in B tier. Actually, probably need to move them in closer together, don't I? Then I can kind of like put them out this way, yeah. Now one that not a lot of people really know about or talk about, Byerley. It's not the easiest to find, but you can still pick this one up. D tier. And I'll tell you why. This right here, essentially a very dry, woody fragrance. The majority of people out there who would pick this up, especially for what it goes for nowadays, are gonna spray this once and go, I made a terrible mistake. It's got like a slightly barbecue smoke scent profile to it as well, alongside that woodiness. Just not really versatile, not very nice to wear for most people, and for the price, just a complete fail. Now, there are gonna be some people out there who love themselves some Byerley, but it's gonna be a much more specific fragrance user for this one. What about Herod? Yeah, Herod, the tobacco bomb. I'm of the opinion that this is one of the best things PDM has ever made. This is one of the best tobacco fragrances in the niche realm, period, as far as wearability. It's sexy, it has just the right balance of sweetness and spice. It's perfectly done. The only thing you could maybe rag on this one for is that modern bottles don't seem to have quite the same push as when it first came out. And I do have both, actually. I've got one of the OG bottles and I've got a newer one, and yeah, the OG ones do have a little more oomph to them. That being said, I still have to put it in S tier. Herod is one of the best things PDM has ever made. What about a more recent one, Perseus? So this one is an interesting one because it smells really similar to Terre d'Hermès or Terre d'Hermès Eau Givre. So it is basically doing that thing that PDM does sometimes where they go, ah, you see that thing? Do it, make that thing. Just make it PDM-y. I don't know, make it cost more. To me, it smells really, really good. I like the balance of citrus where it's a little bit bitter along with that woodiness as it dries down. But for the majority of people out there, It's not really anything too crazy considering the price you're gonna have to pay to pick it up versus what you could get in the designer realm that's frankly gonna be a little easier to wear and cost you a lot less. And of course, with pretty much all PDMs, you can find a lot of different dupes out there that are actually surprisingly close to this one for like 25, 30 bucks. So I'm gonna drop this one into C tier. So we did Pegasus, but what about Pegasus Exclusif? Better, worse, or the same? Basically what this is a more expensive version of Pegasus. You take this same DNA, make it richer, a little bit more animalic, a little bolder, also with more of a masculine lean, because like I said, the original Pegasus has a lot in common with a women's fragrance from many years before from Dior. To me, Pegasus Exclusif is actually better than Pegasus. So I would put this in A tier, with the caveat that it is more expensive, so you're gonna have to pay up to get it. So for some people that may actually knock it down compared to the original Pegasus, but I think if I were gonna get just one of these, I would save a little extra cash and get this one instead. Just a nicer fragrance overall for me. Eragon up next, another straight fragrance. You can tell obviously by the bottle style. So a lot of the same issues are gonna plague this one that plague that one. Really, really, really pricey instead of just really pricey. Also, the bottle, a little bit smaller, so you get less for the amount that you're paying. Yay. I talked about some of my favorite things before. That's another favorite thing. Designers do it too, but they go, hey man, check this. This is friggin' sick, you're gonna love it. So I got a new fragrance. You go, okay, and it's gonna be an straight. Okay, yeah, okay. Better performance, right? Sure, we'll go with that. And also, you're gonna love this, way more expensive. But wait, it gets better. The bottle is smaller, so you're gonna pay more, get less fragrance, and then we're gonna make more money from you. I mean, you're gonna love it. Yeah. Eragon for sure is the most unique of the 3 new straight fragrances, so it does have that going for it. It's kind of an interesting blend of warm spices and vanilla, essentially, but it does have somewhat of an odd twist. I'm not exactly in love with it. I do think that it's better than this one as far as the overall unique vibes that it has, but I'm gonna put it right there in the same tier. Yeah, that's a C tier. It's not worth the price. Greenley up next. This one, spring, summertime, bottled, has kind of a shampoo vibe to it, a nice apple note in there. And it's a nice balance of fresh plus sweet. And this one, I actually had trouble deciding where to place it, because I do think it's really nice. It's very wearable, it's versatile, it's a potential compliment puller. All of that stuff is definitely true. Ultimately though, I'm gonna have to place it here in B tier with Pegasus. Between the two, I would rather wear Greenley. It's just against what I have in my own mind as the heavy hitter summertime fragrances. This one is just like barely below those. So that's where it's gonna hang out for now. Now the next one was one of the most hyped PDM fragrance releases ever. We're talking, this stuff was talked about like crazy. People calling it the sexiest men's fragrance of all time when it first came out. Do you know what I'm talking about? Maybe you do. I have a ton of codes to share with you guys for a bunch of different websites. So codes for JOMASHOP, Fragflex, Maple Prime, Perfume Box, and many, many more. They're also in the description, so you can copy and paste from there if it's easier for you. The JOMASHOP ones only work within the JOMASHOP app though, so keep that in mind. So anytime you're shopping for PDM or clones, designers, whatever, use those codes, save yourself a little extra cash. Let's readjust, bring everything in nice and tight. All right, so the hype monster fragrance release, Kalan. Yeah, it may be hard to fathom nowadays, but when this dropped, it was hyped to the heavens. It was basically like, oh yeah, the biggest panty dropper of all time, the biggest compliment beast that has ever existed, office safe, date night, powerful magic. Literally had people throwing themselves at me like I'm a superhero and my only power is pheromonal attraction. Yeah, Kalan, it'll do that. And then more people got their nose on it and went, what are you talking about? You're insane. D tier. I hate Kalan. Now, one of you out there who's possibly watching this video did email me not that long ago and you asked me, hey, over time, has your opinion changed on Kalan? It has not. But I appreciate that you like the fragrance. You keep wearing it, keep rocking it, keep being you. This one right here, just an overdose of minerality, of like faint earthiness that starts to overwhelm the fragrance as it dries down. Dry papery woods, abrasive spices, and nothing really to redeem it. Kalan is a failure for me. I would not pay more than like 50 bucks for that. And the only reason that I would pay that is just to say that I own it. I'd never wear it. Switching gears, what about Carlisle? Oh yeah, Carlisle. This one smells like a grown-up, more sophisticated take on Mancera's red tobacco to an extent. Also a little similar to Mystery Tobacco by Carolina Herrera, which is interesting because this actually doesn't have tobacco as a note at all. What it does have is apple, nutmeg, saffron, tonka, patchouli, and vanilla, among other notes. And this right here is mature, it's classy, it's got its life together, it knows what it's doing, it's making 6 figures. Also, it just smells really good and lasts a very long time. It is expensive, but it's worth it. S tier. Sedley! So this is one of the other summertime fragrances that I was kind of mentioning over here with Greenley. And Sedley's a really interesting one to me because on the one hand, it's not really anything groundbreaking at all. Basically, it's just a really, really, really well done fresh out of the shower fragrance. Citrus, mint, lavender, ambroxan, that's pretty much the vibe. And yet somehow it's like the quintessential version of that type of fragrance for a lot of people. Like when they smell this, they go, oh, it's perfect. I will wear that literally all summer long, every single day. And guess what? It'll work really, really well. So A tier for me, because of the built-in complement factor, the versatility, the ease of use. Pretty much everybody can rock with that, even if their first and only fragrance is Aqua de Jo. It's not gonna be divisive to anyone. The only potential drawback is, like what I said, it's basically just a very well done, fresh out of the shower scent profile. Just done exceptionally well. Ooh, what about this? Godolphin. Yeah, this one is also kind of interesting because it smells really similar to Tuscan Leather by Tom Ford. And when I say really similar, I do mean really similar. If you're familiar with Tuscan Leather, then the millisecond that this touches your nose holes, you're gonna be like, oh, I see what they did. As I mentioned before with, I think the first one we talked about, basically whoever was calling the shots at PDM with this scent went, Tuscan Leather is really popular and it's a groundbreaking scent. Make me that. But maybe give it a little tweak, a little change, but make me that. Now here's the deal. I love Tuscan Leather and I love this. B tier. Smells amazing. If you want a sweet leather scent, check that out. But it's not quite on the level of these up here. And what about Galloway? Yeah, so Galloway, it smells really similar to Lalique White. Now there is a problem there. Lalique White is like 20 bucks. Okay, you got me. It's like 25. It also doesn't help that this is in a white bottle, so I don't know how much they're exactly trying to hide it. For most people, this is not gonna be even close to worth the cash. And off skin, it's not exactly the most exciting PDM that's ever been made. I'm gonna put it down here in C tier. And that's because it's more wearable than these, but it's definitely not close to these. Ooh, a big one, Layton Exclusif. Basically take the original Layton and do the same thing they did with Pegasus Exclusif. A little more animalic, a little bit darker, a little bit bolder, more divisive, but also more niche leaning. Absolutely fantastic scent for fall and winter time, one of their best releases. But I'm gonna put it in A tier. What about the original Layton? Is it better than Layton Exclusif? Well, for most people, I would say the answer is yeah, it's way better because it's gonna cost you less, it's less divisive, which means you can wear it more places, it's more of a compliment puller. Now, if you're really into niche scents and you want something bolder, something a little bit more unique, then yeah, go with the Exclusif. But most people are gonna like this one more. S tier, one of their best. I'm also gonna do a giveaway in a second, not of a PDM fragrance, but it'll make sense when I get to it. How about next we talk about Haltane. Another interesting one, or strange depending on how you look at it, and I've said that a bunch. This one, because it smells like basically a more masculine take on Oud for Greatness. Now you may say, well, that doesn't matter. Oud for Greatness, why does that matter? Well, because Initio is essentially a sister company with Parfums to Byerley. So they came out with Oud for Greatness and it was a hit, and then they were like, I know what we'll do. Come out with it again. Just make it a little bit more masculine and drop it for PDM. Haha. Big brain. Now that being said, between the two, I would actually rather wear this one. It's really well done. It is, of course, pricey. It was originally a Herod's exclusive, hence the color scheme. I can't put it up here with these though, so I do have to put it here in B. And actually it works out really well because see, now I have Greenley, then I have Godolphin, so I've got like the green bottle, then the gold cap, put it together, boom, perfection. Carios, the last of the extraits. So this one, wait for it, smells similar to Oud for Greatness. Wait, what? We just did the Oud for Greatness. Oh yeah, they both do. Yeah, that's right. Now, of course, it's not the exact same as Oud for Greatness, just like that's not the exact same as Oud for Greatness, but when you spray them side by side, you can clearly see the inspiration. And when the overarching umbrella already has multiple fragrances of that type, and then you're gonna hit me with this one, I'm just not really interested. D tier. Now, if you've got money to burn and you want every single Oud for Greatness type scent out there, feel free to scoop it up. It is wearable. I just think it's not the best way to spend money if you're looking to get a PDM. Oajan? Where's this one fall? Well, for me, another one of their best. It's very honeyed, it's rich, it's sweet, the spices smell amazing. And this is one of those ones where very easily you can forget how good it is, go back and spray it again and be blown away. It is perfect, especially during the holiday season. So we're talking like November through the New Year's, spray this stuff on. It is tailor-made for that time of year. S tier, one of the best. Cassili. Another one of the new ones. So this is a little bit hit or miss, and I'm trying to be kind of brutal here. You know, I'm not trying to be like, oh, S tier for you, A for you, S for you, S for you, S for you, A for you. Trying to be a little more realistic about like where these would fall in specific tiers, because clearly not all PDMs are created equally. And I think for me, Cassili is actually gonna chill down here and see. It's not awful, it is wearable. It has a decent amount in common with like Boss Bottle Beyond, kind of in that style. A lot of other people have found similarities to things like Ganymede, just fragrances that have that type of minerality. Not the same as Ganymede, of course, but like that particular vibe, you know, that has kind of spread out to a bunch of different scents. And you get some of that here. That's what that sounded like. I think one of the main issues as well with Cassili is that when it came out, you know, a lot of people who initially scooped it up were looking for more stuff like Sedley, you know, that you're gonna wear all day, every day and pull mad compliments and all of this stuff. And then Cassili is a little bit more grown up to an extent and just didn't quite hit the same way for a lot of people. Percival, and this is one I struggle with a little bit. And that's because it smells similar to Fierce by Abercrombie & Fitch and Mont Blanc Legend, both of which are pretty affordable compared to this. But it also does things in that Sedley sort of way, where yes, it's treading common ground, but it's doing it in a way where you go, haha, that is freaking good though. It's generic, but that's good. That's good generic. It's like a really good pizza or a really good plate of pasta. Even if it's just a really simple dish, right? Just spaghetti and meatballs, but it's done in such a way that you go, whoa, that is good. It's like that. Michelin star creativity? No. Pulled off really well? Yes. A tier. And the final scent, Althaïr. This is a fragrance where the very first time I got it in, very first time I sprayed it on, it's kind of like here. Yeah, it was like right in this B-ish level, high B, low A, something like that. And then over time and over wears, it grew on me and grew on me to the point that I absolutely love the stuff. It is sweet. Actually, compared to these up here at the tippy top, the only one that comes close to it in terms of sweetness is Oajan. Different types of sweetness, but you know what I'm saying. And so I guess you may wonder, has it moved up enough that it is past the A tier into the S tier, or is it still somewhere over here? And for me, I'm gonna put this in the S tier. Of the newer releases from Parfums de Marly, like over the past few years, this one is clearly the best one. And it's really not that close, actually, when you start to compare it to stuff that's come out here recently, you know, Perseus, Cassili, the Extrait fragrances, like Althaïr is way up here and they're down there, comparatively speaking. And so that is the current state of affairs with PDM for me. That's the tier list. I'm sure they'll come out with at least one, maybe a few different fragrances this year, and we'll have to see where those slot in. But that's it for now. Let's go ahead and do a giveaway. It is Lalique White and Black. Bottle is full, got no box though. And the reason this makes a little bit of sense is it's inspired by Layton. Or at least in my opinion, it is clearly inspired by Layton. If you want to be entered in the giveaway for this bottle, all you have to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment down below. Let me know your top 3 PDM. If you've never smelled any, that's fine. Just let me know the 3 that you would like to smell the most, I guess. I'll pick a winner with random comment picker, post it up on the post tab of the YouTube channel. If you're the winner, hit me up and I'll ship that out to you. And I'll probably toss in one of these little samples, one of these lab samples as well. So I have hundreds and hundreds of these. They're unreleased fragrances, different things I was working on as I came up with Arashi Reef and French Quarter for Michael Malloy, which by the way, also linked in the description. All right, guys, that'll do it for me. Thank you for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys. Whoop.